Hello guys, Chaoslands here, and today I would like to welcome you at my first episode of comparing Warlocks, comparing the Legion Warlock and the BfA Warlock. And as we start, I will start with the most boring spec for me, and that is Affliction. The most boring staying as it stands on Legion. So let's get into it. We may start with overlocking talents. Not talents, spells, because it's stupid to start with talents when you don't know what spells do. So, basically it goes like Unstable Affliction, hold on, it goes this. Unstable Affliction, the bursty thing that adds kind of that pew type of feel to the spec. That's probably the best expression I can give that. Then we have Corruption, which is there just for the flavor of it. Then we have Agony, which is the most important dot, in my opinion, because it gives you soul shards, which then you can spend on Unstable Affliction. The biggest problem with that is that it is completely RNG. Once you somehow disgrace the RNGs, you are completely fucked up. And then Drain Soul, which just do what I would imagine it to do. It just drains and drains and drains and drains, and yeah, that's pretty much it. And of course, then from the damaging baseline spells, we have the biggest annoyance ever made and the biggest stupidity, and that's a life tap. Because, well, you will see once we get to the actual dummy. Okay, so dummy is here, and I'm not summoning a demon because it will kinda interfere with my type. What am I going to do? But the basics of your rotation look like this, of course without any talents involved. Agony, Corruption, Drain, and Drain. And I guess we can drain once more. But Agony is stuck up, and then we just do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, and pray to RNGs. Yeah, nice. Basically what you are doing is that you make sure that your dots don't fall off, and you are trying to get as many unstable afflictions as possible. And now let's take a look on talents. So the 15 row: Haunt, Frighten Agony, Malefic Grasp. Haunt, completely useless. Frighten Agony, it increases the damage of Agony. Pretty cool, especially on 2 target creeps. And Malefic Grasp, it increases any damage over time effect on the target. Because yes, I'm fucking lost and I can't even read the tooltip. By 25% while you drain soul. That gives Drain Soul a little bit more credit than just being the most boring spells, and if you would allow me, I will kinda wipe. Of course, then, row 30. Contagion, which is okay, Unstable Affliction has passive effect, okay. Absolute Corruption, Infinite Corruption, removing 1 button from the simplest rotation in Legion. Okay. And Empower Life Tap. You press Life Tap, you deal more damage. That could actually be kinda useful, but it's not. Of course, row 45, don't make me start on that. Demonic Circle should be baseline. Mortal Coil should be only PvP. Hour of Terror shouldn't even exist. Row 60. Well, for me it's the saddest one. Phantom Singularity. as it stands, the tooltip and all that kind of stuff, and also the animation, it sounds pretty well. But all in all, it's not that good. Like, the only thing you could possibly use it is on situations like Portal Keeper Hazabel, when you don't have time to let the dots do all that crazy type of damage. And of course, Sow the Seeds increases the damage of Seed of Corruption by giving it 2 other seeds into one cast. So instead of 1 seed that will explode and apply corruption, you will have 3 seeds that will explode and apply corruption. And then of course, Soul Harvest. Probably the go-to talent, because it increases the damage of you and your pet, and it stacks with agonies, and eventually you can end up at 36 seconds, which is pretty sick, especially in Mythic Plus. Which then of course brings a little question if you are supposed to take Sow the Seeds or Soul Harvest into Mythic Plus, and in my opinion that depends on FXs and personal preference. I honestly prefer to take Sow the Seeds and Tomb of Sargeras 2 set, which gives you soul shards for corruption. Yeah. Then, row 75. I'm going to correct myself, this is the saddest. Because you can either choose to be passively immortal, actively immortal, or die, but be quick. Eventually, it works better to die but be quick, but like, come on! Warlocks have probably the least mobility. Even Death Knights have more mobility. And, like, what the fuck? You are going to take the mobility away? Or make it actually into a talent that will kill you and it's on the row as the defensive talent? Nah. Row 90. Straight pick, Grimoire of Supremacy. Boring. Because it allows you to have this sweet heart called Doomguard. Say hello, Doomguard. Okay, you are the quiet one. But okay, that's it. Or of course, like, you can summon also the Infernal as permanent pet, but maybe when you need an AoE stun. That's probably the only thing that you are gonna use that. Grimoire Service is not good, or not that good for Affliction, and Grimoire of Sacrifice sucks. And then level 100, Death's Embrace, Execute. Execute that works surprisingly pretty well, but it's just a passive effect and that's nothing to play with. Siphon Life, another damage over time effect, which deals damage and heals you. Which actually adds even more survivability to Affliction, because, well, it heals you. But I honestly don't think that Affliction on Legion needs any more healing. But whatever, it also does damage, so it's good to have. And then of course Soul Conduit, the most boring talent ever made, which refunds you soul shards. Well, as the rotation in Legion currently stands with every spell included, it looks kinda like this. You apply your dots in Agony, Siphon Life, Corruption, in this line, yeah, Agony, Siphon Life, Corruption, you press Drain, and now we are waiting for the artifact trait, or the artifact ability, which I've not talked about, but it gives you a little buff, and actually a pretty neat buff. But as I'm sitting at 5 soul shards and RNG is not as generous as he should be, and I will do like I spend that 1 shard, and I will still try to wait for the other like the tormented souls. It's like, fuck. 4, great. Life tap, reply that, and here we go. 1, 2, shoop, rip, and drain. Great. And you basically play in these cycles all around this, like, spending that one unstable is not actually as good as it could be, but nothing is perfect. Life is bad and sad, and RNG doesn't like me, obviously, and I forgot to drain. Yep. And that's pretty much it. That's how basics of Affliction Warlock in Legion look like. And I forgot to mention the Reap Soul artifact trait, or artifact ability, which, of course, like, basic looks like that. You get another layer of RNG. Your dots have a chance to spawn like fragments, like those little thingies. Yeah? I'm gonna zoom in on that, close my UI. These thingies. And these thingies then can be consumed, like this, and it will give you a buff. Sorry. That will increase your damage by 10% and double the artifact traits, or the effects of artifact traits, which then leads into some crazy, like, crazy insanity when you think about it, that Agony all of a sudden deals like 48% damage more than it should do in the baseline, or when, like, is this? Yeah, when you have like a 10% increased critical strike, and like, yeah, that's pretty neat. But as it is RNG and you have literally no control over that, or almost no control over that, I don't like it much. Okay, now let's take a look on Affliction in BfA. It underwent some significant changes, although the core of the rotation is still pretty much the same. You will still keep like Agony and Corruption at 100% uptime, and from time to time spam the Unstable Affliction. But, as you can see here, I'm like pointing at the screen, but you better watch the mouse. We have a bloody Shadowbolt back. Yes, that's right, guys. Shadowbolt is back. Back again. And yeah, so that's now the new filler. And Seed of Corruption works still pretty much the same. And of course, there is that one dude that you might probably not have any fucking idea about. And that's called Darkglare. And it's like that floating thingy, which is the end boss of the Upper Karazhan dungeon. And that's our new summon instead of Doomguard, which is a really good thing. Then we have like a good old demons, and yeah, that's pretty much the basics of the spells. Now, talent, because fuck, they changed a lot. And there is like, apart from the fucked up road and the second road, there is like nothing same, like, basically. So, row 50 completely new. We have Nightfall, which made a comeback that allows Corruption. I will dismiss this son of a bitch. That allows Corruption to make Shadowbolts instant, and we will probably have to wait and see for a second. So I probably just continue my rambling while I will wait for this thing to try to proc. And we have Drain Soul, which made it into a talent that replaces Shadowbolt. So if you liked draining Warlock, then it's not gone for you. It's still gonna be there. Yeah. And then we have Deadbolt, which works basically as Talkiel's consumption in Legion. When you will play Deadbolt, you will try to get out as many demons as possible, and fuck, it's the second proc of Chrono Shard, and the proc of Nightfall is still nowhere to be seen, and I got a Lua error for some fucking reason. What the fuck? Oh! Night shit procced. So yeah, it looks like this. Row 30. Little reshuffle of talents put into the same row. Every of these talents increases your damage over time. Bright and Agony made it from here to here, and it does still the same. Absolute Corruption still does the fucking same thing. Permanent Corruption, slightly increased damage of corruption. Of course, removing one button, but right now I am not as pissed as I used to be about this talent, because, well, this pack is now a bit more spammy, and we have more things to check about, like especially when you play Deadbolt, which I am going to play. And then of course we have Stuff in Life, which made it its way from here to here, and it does what Stuff in Life did before, but the healing is reduced to half because it used to heal you for 60 seconds. Then of course level 45, fuck that bullshit. Level 60 row, so the seeds is nerfed by its mechanic. It used to spawn 2 additional seeds, now it spawns only 1 additional seed. Phantom Singularity still does pretty much what it used to do, and Wild Taint is a new thing, and that is like a thing on the ground that you spawn, and it reduces the movement speed and does some damage, and if I am not mistaken it counts as damage over time debuff, so it works with Deadbolt, and as it is 20-second cooldown, it will work for every Deadbolt and not like Phantom Singularity. So we do like blip, yep, and it's here. Now, level 75, fuck this bullshit. Row 90, not 60, 90. Shadow Embrace. Well, you have basically permanently increased damage of your dots by 9%. It doesn't matter if you use Shadow Bolt, which stacks it up, or if you are going to go for Drain Soul, which by the way works as an execution spell once more, which is really nice, but whatever. Because as you can see, it refreshes it and it drains. But I still think that Deadbolt will beat it. Yep. Why the fuck do I have Mortal Coil picked? Fuck the Mortal Coil. I don't like Mortal Coil. Okay. Yeah, back to level 90 row. Haunt. It's like not that bad. Like it has a 15-second duration and 15-second cooldown, but it has 1.1 second cast time and increases the damage by 10%. So you have Shadow Embrace, which increases the damage by 9% for the 100% of the fight, basically. And then you have Haunt, which increases the damage by 10%, but for like 98% of the fight. More or less. Yeah, like, as I said, I am not doing math. Not when I don't have to. So I think that Shadow Embrace will still work better, because like that 1% will be like nerfed or like rendered limited to 0, because Hound has this like window in its duration and Shadow Embrace does not, and eventually I think that Shadow Embrace will beat Hound in performance, because Hound is one another timer to keep track of. You have like the watch of one another fucking debuff. Like, okay, then of course there will be a situation where you cannot cast Hunt, that it will fall off while you are running away, and like what the fuck? The Shadow Embrace will hold there for a second longer, and like as you are spamming the Shadow Bots or the Drain Soul, it is there. So like I think the Shadow Embrace will really win this fight. And of course Grimoire Sacrifice, again, better than on Legion, but it's still bloody RNG and it should still kiss my ass. 100, Soul Conduit, still the same boring shit. Creeping Death. Do you remember that one sweet Legion Legendary? Fuck, bad button. Fuck. Come on, wherever you are. Yeah! Hood of Eternal Disdain. And that made Agony do its full damage faster. Now, our Blizzard guys, friends, who knows? Let's call them our gods. Not gods, demigods, wild gods, old gods. Our Blizzard old god defriend gave us this as a talent. 5% speed up, like it's doing 15%, and it works on every fucking dot you have. Oh, fuck it. I think I will see a lot of play with either Drain Soul or Nightfall, but not with Deathbolt. Because with Deathbolt you kind of want your dots to be slow and hard. Basically the opposite of what Creeping Death is doing. And then we have Dark Souls Misery, which increases your haste by 30%. And now let's take a look on what this thing could like do or not do. And yeah, and I actually want to. Whoa, that's not what I want to. Oh, whatever. Oh, so this was not entirely the plan, but keep up the dots. Stuck up Shadow Embrace. Refresh dots. And let the fun begin. Yeah, we do this, call out discount, and then just throw out the deadbolt. And considering that this is my second tryout of this thing, I don't think that it hit like that bad. Yeah, because it's fucking badass, boy. It hit for 8.5k. That's not that bad, I guess. And it's such great that I don't have to look for that fucking Clive tab. Oh boy, BfA is like my favorite expansion so far, because there is no life tab, and I can basically just go around and fuck whatever I want. Okay, this, and I'm gonna throw out this, and do this, and this is for fucking 11k. So I guess that it's like a good. So if you have liked my try hard to make an overview or teaser or comparison of Affliction Warlock, then like this video. If you have disliked my try hard to do that, then dislike the video. Then, if you have liked this video so much that you would like to be notified about my other videos that I may do in future, then make sure you hit that subscribe button and the bell icon next to it. Okay, so if you want to support my channel and me, then feel free to share this video, share any of my other videos, share my face, share my duct tape headphones maybe. Oh, this one is duct taped. And yeah. Okay, so what's next? I know I wanted to say something else. Yeah, if you have disliked this video so much that you would like to ruin my life, then feel free to take this video, take any of my other videos, and put them on your Facebook, Twitter, Discord, or maybe even on your YouTube channel. And say, hey guys, look at this fucker, come and hate him. Because, well, let the fun begin. Then, if you like me so much that you would like to support me really directly, then in the description you will be able to find a link to my Patreon. And my current goal for Patreon is to get enough Patreon income so that I could afford a proper editing software and a proper the picture editing software. Because currently I'm using a really old version of Sony Vegas and GIMP, and it fucking sucks. So, and that's really all I wanted to say and show to you tonight. So, have a nice day. Or night, as I'm slowly gonna have. Thank you for watching, and I will see you somewhere in the future. Bye bye, guys!